Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten 774 here, bringing you the next video in our walkthrough for Nancy Drew's Secret of the Old Clock. We are in Richard Topham's house, which used to be Josiah Crowley's house, apparently. And oh my gosh, Yuri is so cute! Oh, I love cats. I am such a cat person. Dogs are wonderful too, but I love cats so much.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house.
Was this Josiah's clock?
Everything in here was Josiah's.
Everything, huh? This looks like a matching game? On a clock? Bell hat. Wrench clock. Clock? Oh, different clock. Clock. Wrench. I know those aren't wrenches, but sundial, butterfly, clock, hat, cheese, mouse, gear, oh perfect, cheese, mouse, light bulb, bell, needle, light bulb, sundial, there we go, needle, and butterfly. What do we get? What's it do? Nothing? Oh! That was super delayed, but we got another mirror. It's kind of interesting. Oh, Yuri, you're so cute! Cats are the best. They're so underrated.
That room is off limits, I'm afraid.
Oh, well. If we look around this place, we have a picture of Harry Houdini up here, and a poster of Zegod the Magnificent. Both of these men were magicians in the final scene. Harry Houdini being a real magician, Zegod the Magnificent probably being a made-up one. I am assuming. What is this? Goodness, that is so scary. How is Yuri not freaking out right now? What's this?
As you'll soon realize, Josiah's mental faculties were starting to go, I'm afraid. He tended to ramble. Very little of what he wrote in there makes sense.
Lest I forget.
What are you when you win barred bounce? What poet is the cat's meow? What will Para, my miniature golf course, get you? What's Gloria's middle name?
Oh, for the lock on the carriage house. Well, we know the first one was Keen. That's what came up when we won the game. And what poet is the cat's meow? Probably Omar, because that's the name of the poet in the book that Emily has. And Gloria was Emily's mom, so we'll have to ask her about her middle name. And we'll have to play mini golf. The Crowley Roadster Soarer.
Becoder is in the rivet. 2 to the right.
Answer, fall down. Took Topham's intelligence test. Figuring out the rest should be a cinch. Yeah, we already did that. Get new typewriter ribbon. Tick-tock, tickety 300. Everybody, let's wake up. To open journal, Becoder is in the rivet. 2 to the right. CC whereabouts. Room off tunnel by scrambled picture. Tesla coil invented in 1891 by Nikola Tesla. Fascinating. Now, there is a game that is based on Nikola Tesla, and that is The Deadly Device, but that is game number 27, I believe. The odds of this being a cookie to that game are pretty slim, but that's a direct reference, so maybe they were thinking of it this early on. To open the big tick-tock on top, give Flute, Thisbe, and Pyramus their cues. Bottom's cue is a note to Gloria. Home on the golf course sounds like numbers to me. Buy carousel horse from Sheldon. The Sheldon Rousseau Carousel in Captain's Cove, New Jersey. That is from Nancy Drew the Haunted Carousel, the 8th mystery in the series. Book. Yeah, we found the book.
It looks like Josiah lent a trivet to someone, but I can't make out to whom.
Here is the trivet I sent you for your party at Twin Elms. I will want it back someday. Your friend Josiah. Twin Elms. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of a journal with a bunch of interesting little anecdotes from Josiah. This looks like the award that Maddie and Rick get in Stay Tuned for Danger, just without the little globe. I wonder if that is actually what that is, or if I'm just imagining things. I could just be imagining things. Oh, look, and there's a haunted... Well, not a haunted, but there's a carousel horse from the Haunted Carousel, or at least a reference to the game.
What do you do with these?
I put them on the windshields of cars parked in the area. Great advertising.
Ever put them on cars at the Lilac Inn?
All the time. I've gotten quite a few pupils that way.
To discover and develop your psychic potential. Certified parapsychologist? Interesting. Don't know how I feel about that, Mr. Topham. Seems a little sketchy. What's over here? Oh, you're so cute. Creepy fat clown jumping. That's interesting. What else? What do we got? Some random instruments. Some clackers. Let's see.
The man on stage in this picture, is that Josiah?
Yes, that's from a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream that he directed and starred in. It closed after 2 nights, but he didn't care. He loved that play.
Oh, yep, and here's another poster from the Haunted Carousel, Captain's Cove, New Jersey. That's so cool. Well, I think we've about explored everything. That is an upside-down parrot. That could be a hint to Lulu from the game that we just played, Curse of Blackmore Manor. Putting physics to work in the modern world. Crookes radiometer. A radiometer is a device which measures the intensity of heat and light, i.e. radiant energy. In 1873, Sir William Crookes developed a special kind of radiometer in which 4 square vanes were mounted on the 2 arms of a small rotor inside a clear glass bulb. Vanes are like little mirrors. The vanes revolved when exposed to light, always spinning as if the light were pushing on the black surface, making it appear to Crookes that light was applying pressure to the dark vanes. Physics. It is doubtful, however, that the movement of the vanes can ever be put to such practical use, for the friction needed to turn a gear would prevent the vanes from spinning when exposed to light. That's what you think. Depends on what you do with the light first, P-Brain. Huh. Sounds like Josiah found a practical use for the vanes. Interesting. Okay, let's talk to Richard Topham.
Am I to assume that you have the correct solution to that logic problem?
Yes, you pompous man.
Right here.
Let's have a look. Why, you appear to have indeed found the solution. Well, since you've proved yourself to be intellectually above average, which means talking to you should do me no harm, what would you like to talk about?
When and how did you meet Josiah Crowley?
Last summer, while on my way to the university for a conference, I stopped for a bite at the Lilac Inn. Since it was crowded and I was in a hurry, I agreed to share a table with an elderly gentleman who, like me, was by himself. As soon as I told Mr. Crowley who I was and what I did, well, he insisted that I give him a training session that very afternoon, and was so thrilled with his progress that he demanded I stay and teach him everything I knew.
So it was his idea that you set up your school in his house?
Oh, I know rumor has it that I somehow tricked him into it, that I insinuated my way into his home, but I assure you that was not the case.
Were you surprised when you found out that Josiah had left you everything?
Delighted? Yes. Surprised? Not really. Josiah was all alone, you see, surrounded by people like the Crandalls and that banker, Jim Archer, people who were nice to him only because they knew he had money.
What's in the carriage house that's out back, do you know?
That was Josiah's workshop. I assume it contains even more detritus.
Have you ever made par on the golf course that's out back?
Young lady, I've never set foot on that golf course, let alone made whatever par is.
You don't know what par means? Maybe you should take your little test.
Would you happen to know what Gloria Crandall's middle name was?
I haven't the foggiest.
It was nice talking to you.
Drop by any time.
He's one of those characters that you kind of love to hate because he's so smug. It's just like grating. Bye, Yuri. You're cute though. We like you. Topham, not so much. Let's save the golf course for later because to be honest, it's actually really difficult. And I just don't want to go through that stress right now. I think we should go driving. We need to go by Tubby's telegrams and pick up the papers for Nancy's dad.
That car I saw before is gone.
Yes, it is. Okay, so we drive by just holding down the mouse button. See, I just ran over a pothole, which I was just about to tell you is something that you want to try and avoid as much as possible. Oh, the bank. We need to stop there, too. Let's stop at the bank.
Hello, I'm looking for Jim Archer.
Right through that door. Hello! Are you Nancy Drew?
Yes, are you Mr. Archer?
Yes, ma'am. Jim Archer. I'm founder, president, manager, and just about everything else you can name when it comes to this fine enterprise.
I hear that some businesses aren't doing so well these days.
Ever since the stock market crashed, one business after another has closed, including banks. President Hoover keeps saying that a recovery is just around the corner, but you have to wonder.
Some people say we're headed for a depression.
Well, that kind of pessimism is not only misguided, it's pointless. Thinking ahead and taking action, that's what we businessmen should be doing right now. And I'm happy to report that we're doing just fine, thank you. Excuse me. Main Street Bank, Jim Archer speaking. No, I don't. I'm sorry, but... Yes, I know, but... All right, then just bring it by. Sorry for the interruption. How can I help you?
Do you happen to know whether the jewelry Emily inherited from her mother was insured?
Well, I know for a fact that it was not. Why?
Because someone snuck into the inn today and stole it.
Oh, no. I heard there'd been a fire in the kitchen, but when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? I told Gloria not to let that policy lapse.
Why did she let it lapse?
She felt that since Josiah Crowley would be leaving her a large sum of money when he died, or so she thought, paying to insure her jewelry just wasn't necessary.
How well did you know Josiah Crowley?
Well enough for him to name me executor of his will. An executor is the person who makes sure the terms of a will are carried out.
Why do you think he wound up leaving Gloria nothing?
I have no idea. Truth be told, he'd given me the impression that I would be well taken care of when he passed on too. But when I finally read his will, it all went to Topham.
Where did Josiah keep his will?
He'd hidden it in a chest of drawers in his house. It took me months to find it. When he named me executor, he said he'd tell me where it was hidden when the time was right, whatever that meant.
How did Josiah die?
He was sitting in the public library reading when apparently his heart just decided it was time to stop.
What was he reading?
His favorite book, The Make-Up Secrets of Lon Chaney.
The will you found in Josiah's house. Is it possible that Josiah didn't really write it?
Well, the thought that it could be a forgery did cross my mind. But an expert verified that the will had been typed on Josiah's typewriter and signed in Josiah's hand.
But Richard Topham lived in Josiah's house. He had access to his typewriter, and he could have copied his signature.
As far as the law is concerned, the matter is closed, Miss Drew.
But it's possible that Josiah's real will is still out there. Are you sure he never gave you any clue as to where he'd hidden his will?
Whenever I asked him, he said he'd tell me when the time is right. Although, he got a safe deposit box here about 3 years ago.
Has it been opened?
Topham has tried to claim its contents, but he can't find the key.
Maybe he knows the real will could be in there, only he wants to destroy it.
Now, Miss Drew, I wouldn't go jumping to any conclusions.
How well do you know Jane Willoughby? You know, Emily's guardian?
Not well at all. Met her once or twice. Seemed a little flighty.
Do you think Emily's going to be able to run the inn by herself?
Times are just too tough. If she's smart, she'll sell before the bills start piling up.
I guess I'll be going.
Come back anytime.
Okay, so that's Jim Archer and his bank.
Is this your car?
Yes, it is. Bought and paid for.
That looks a lot like the car that we just saw parked outside the Lilac Inn. Safe deposit boxes are all there.
Don't you ever use this typewriter?
That used to be Josiah Crowley's. It was the only thing he left me in his will. Naturally, it doesn't work. The keys always jam.
That's weird.
October 9, 1929. Dear Mrs. Sheldon, here is the trivet I said you could borrow for your party at Twin Elms. Please take care of it because I will want it back someday. Your friend, Josiah C. I wonder if Josiah ever got his trivet back.
So the letter we know was written to a Mrs. Sheldon now at Twin Elms. We'll have to try and find her somewhere.
Who's Clara?
Clara Pickford is this lonely old woman who comes in here every once in a while. Took a shine to me for some reason. Insisted on giving me that picture.
My ace in the hole. Affectionately yours, Clara. Interesting.
Where did you get this clock?
Josiah Crowley gave it to me. It stopped keeping time the minute he walked out the door.
That receipt I found outside the inn. I wonder if the key it refers to is the one to this clock.
Interesting. Okay, well, I think that is enough for this episode. We still have some more errands to run, which we will get started in our next video. Thanks for watching, fellow detectives. See you soon.